Our guest today is Dr. Michel Abou Khalil, a Lebanese Swiss actor, researcher, and cultural mediator whose work lies at the intersection of theater, conflict, cultural diplomacy, and peace building. Michel has worked on stage and in diplomacy, serving as cultural attaché of the Swiss Embassy in Lebanon, and he now leads Swiss Made Culture, an association using cultural projects to build bridges between Switzerland and the wider world. He holds a doctorate in French literature and is the author of Art et conflit, l'impact du théâtre Liban, with a preface by former Swiss President Pascal Couchepin. He is a reference voice on art, conflict, and healing, which goes directly to the heart of TAA's mission, the belief that art, in this case, the performing arts and theater, can encourage peaceful engagement, oneness, inner community, and global peace. Michel, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Sam. The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
So when did you first recognize that theater can encourage peace and understanding?
When I was born, we didn't call it before art and conflict resolution. Like now, there's a new discipline, new artifice, how they do this job, this work, and the combining public diplomacy and the art. So at the beginning, it was just diplomacy by itself, and now it's a mix of both. So art, it always did this job. It's not something new, but it doesn't have this etiquette. So why art, we can say like that. And in my research, why theater? Because it's softer than a speech. Now, if you are from gauche, droite, left, right, Democrat, or you have a speech and you have one. Art is ambiguous, which means you have both. You have the two. Like, let's say Anouilh. You have Antigona of Anouilh. For example, Antigona, she's now the example of famine. But at the beginning, at the Greek period, it was written Antigona to give a lesson to the society, to just teach them that the power is crayon and he must give the tonality. And after it changed, and with Anouilh, everybody reproached to Anouilh to be like ambiguous with both, like with the revolutionary, with the revolution, and at the same time with the Nazi. But it wasn't him. This is art, because he was giving on the platform the two voices, and that's why art and theater could do peace building. After, if we take it medically wise, art could influence, thanks to the emotion, could impact the limbic system of the brain, the system responsible of the emotions and of the memory. That's why we use it now more and more in the peace building and conflict resolution.
What an excellent survey on both historical and scientific proof of art having an impact in encouraging peace. And how can performance create space for dialogue and reconciliation?
Peace building and conflict resolution artists today are few people that they know this field. And it's a field, it's a discipline, it's a new discipline of theater. Even the words could change. We don't call you now director, we call you facilitator. We don't call actors, we call participants. There's even the names are not the same. And here, there's a public space, and we have what we call it the safe space. Just be focused now on the safe space. First of all, on this safe space, you have the choice of a group. You choose a group in conflict. Let's say where we are. The geography, it's very important. Are we in Geneva? Are we in Lausanne? Are we in Lebanon? Are we in South Africa? Are we in Argentina? It depends of the local. Let's come back to my research to Lebanon. You know, if you are in Lebanon, I will give you an example on the field. And this example is between Jabal Mohsen and Bibit Tibani in Tripoli. And you have Leia Baroudi with her group March. She came and she made a wonderful work on the demarcation line between Jabal Mohsen and Bibit Tibani. They were fighting with the real fire on the roofs, and she made a great job. So she brought these two groups on what we call a safe space, and all the work is more important than the representation. All this work of healing will be here. At the beginning, they were like looking at each other. They are belligerent, and they have a lot of cliche from their leaders. And step by step, this safe space where art could do something. So they try to work together to do a artist plus psychoanalysis, safe space, the place or where everything must work. And as a researcher, we have the first thing that we do a comparative work, and the comparative work between all these people doing art and peace building. And here, the rule number one: you don't judge. If one of the group will judge, all the rest of the group will come and will support you. So this is it's a mini explication of the what we call it in French atelier workshop in English. After, art could make any space could be art. Our life is art. Everything is art. But if we are talking about art and conflict resolution, this is the space, the safe space, which is very important. And everything, we'll write the scenario, we'll make the costumes, we'll do everything. The participants, they do everything.
Mm-hmm. Simple daily practice can help artists sustain inner peace from your point of view?
You have artists doing this peace building and conflict resolution like everywhere in the world. It's a group that they are doing this job. They are supported by NGOs. They are supported with the embassies and other donors. These artists, when they started, they were supported by no one. They were like, they believe in they are part of the society, and they want to do their own healing to do the healing of the others. They start by their own healing. But coming back to healing, I will give you the example of Source Chalondon. In the fourth wall, Source Chalondon, it was a novel, and the novel became a piece of theater, and after it became a BD, after it became a movie. Most important with Source Chalondon was that he get to in 82 to Sabra Ishatila after the massacre. Some days after the massacre, when they opened it to the journalists, and when he get there, he had his right papers like journalist objective and left papers, and on the left side writing everything what he's feeling, but he couldn't liberate his words before 30 years. And for me, doing the third wall, le quatrième mur, you know what's the quatrième mur? Quatrième mur, you have in the theater 3 walls, and the fourth is the public. So doing that, it was he was doing his own healing. Yes, all of us, when I was writing my PhD, I was doing my own healing. I didn't know that I'm doing my own healing. It becomes like alone, and once I get to the war, and I was crying like a child, I said, why I'm crying, I couldn't, because your brain could have a lot of stuff that you are not conscious, you are not conscient of it, so and after I stopped writing, I couldn't continue to write. So that's why here I think art heal, but what must be And here, this is the importance of peace building and conflict resolution. Coming back to our subject, it must be sustainable. You cannot do art just, yeah, let's go, it's a nice activity. It will be like entertainment. You have to do it, and it must be sustainable. You work on the structural causes, you deal with the structural causes, and you come back to make the healing to be a good healing, like an operation. If you have a cancer, you cut the cancer, you take it out, you talk about it. And here the memory work is very important. That's why a lot of countries, they don't like to talk about. And you have to talk. Talking for them, it's a separation. Fitna. Talking, it's not the fitna. Talking, it's very important because you cannot erase the past. You learn the past and you jump over for the future. So you cannot create a healthy future. Otherwise, I compare it in my PhD of the Sisyphus cycle. Sisyphus was condemned to push the rock on the mountain. Once the rock is on the mountain, it fall again, and he must redo it. So this is the circularity, and this is the circularity of the absurd, and we use it to speak about the absurd, that it's endless, and to crash this endless, because you have the start, initial, and you have a transformation, you have an end, and the end must be an end point, otherwise you will restart. For me, you have to dialogue. When you don't have dialogue, you have conflict.
Wow, so well put. So do you believe that art can influence peace, inner, community, and global?
Can I be a little bit superficial? Here, I'm not researcher. Here, I'm the neighbor who's taking a coffee with you now.
Okay.
Do you remember the Hakawati, the storyteller in the Arab world?
Okay.
Yeah, the Hakawati, it's a storyteller who was in the cafe. You have the nargile, you have, in general, there were men, women weren't allowed. It was very old tradition in the Arab world. So the Hakawati, it was very funny. He was an influencer of his period. He was making business with all the merchant of falafel and shawarma. What he was doing, he was telling them, you give me money, and you give me some food for my family, that's fine, I will talk about you. Otherwise, you will see. And he was running at the beginning of his show saying, oh, I was now eating at this shop, and it was this snack, it was delicious. My God, the falafel was delicious as well. And he was giving them the pleasure to eat. And after the show, everybody was going to eat at the same falafel. And if he wasn't happy, he will come back at the beginning of the show. He will not say, oh, I'm sick, I was very sick, I was here near, and I ate falafel, and oh my God, and he was like starting to and nobody will put his food in this show. So art always will influence. It's influence, and if we are a little bit more serious, we go to the state, the soft power with Hollywood. All of us, we live like Hollywood, we eat like Hollywood, even we love like Hollywood. When I was young, I was making all this romantic, thanks to the movies. If I fall in love with a girl, so I was like taking something, making surprise. Don't forget, and if we talk like deeply, the medical impact, the cathartic way of in general in music and in theater, the catharsis phenomenon, which is it's like a medicine, so that's why, yes, art has an impact. It could be good, it could be bad.
So well put, and thank you for that lovely example of influencers from a different time. Now, what message would you share with TAA's international community of artists for peace?
I have a lot of messages. Do you have enough time?
I'm going to give you as much time. This is such a wonderful opportunity for us to hear your views.
For peace building and conflict resolution, you have before the conflict, during the conflict, and post-conflict, after the conflict. So before the conflict, your work will be a prevention. The artists are sensitive. They can talk about it, and they can. In general, a politician will not hear. They will say, "Oh, but it's nothing. It's not true." So what you are doing now, prevent people when you see something that who could lead to a prevention. As we say in medicine, the prevention is better than the medicine. So please prevent, prevent, prevent. Second thing, in the midst of the conflict. In the midst of the conflict, we cannot do peace building. That there's hatred, there is anger, there is a lack of trust of others. So you forget the peace building. You are doing a mistake. Professionally, it's a mistake to do peace building. You can do entertainment to heal a little bit the people, which means the psychoanalysis could work a little bit to like oxygen for people. And otherwise, you can keep trace for the work of memory later. So this is the second part. The third part, post-conflict. Here, all the peace building work will get here at this part after the conflict. You know the 3A, you have after a conflict, you have the armistice, you have the amnesty, and you have the amnesty. You have the armistice, which means it's in general a political decision to sometimes in general they give back the arms and they finish. I'm talking about an armed conflict. Second thing, you have the amnesty. Always after all conflict, as we talk about it, Social spoke about his problem 30 years later. It's always like that. You have this amnesic word. You cannot tell me today, yeah, go ahead, talk about your trauma. What you cannot tell me like that. When you have a trauma, you will hide it very, very, very deep in yourself. You will not talk about it. In general, this is the second generation, the children will talk more about it. And third thing, you have the amnesty, the pardon, you forgive, and this forgiveness must be done after a memory work. So here you can do peace building, and here you can put belligerent together, and here the belligerent are more ready to talk about their trauma and to get together and to understand, because peace building at the end of the war. You do not, or war or conflict, not during the conflict. So this is the first advice. Second advice, do not simplify problems. Sometimes we have, oh my God, let's do art is solution. No, art is not always solution. Okay, so this is the second point. The third point that I can give you, please. It's not because it's a sexy field. Everybody could not do peace building. You have to be formed for that. And even peace builders, I can give them, please, if you are a good artist, don't do a psychoanalysis. Ask a psychoanalyst to support you. If you are a psychoanalyst, it's great what you do in your clinics. It's nice, it's fun, and the exercises, but it's not drama and it's not art. It's not like, so please, please work with artists. Believe on what you are doing. Don't do it because you have to do it. And don't give up. It's a long term. And I have two, and to end, before ending, I have 2 points. Please, please, please don't parachute a system. So give them time. They need their time. Don't parachute a program. You can harm more than help. I will finish with one thing that I wrote it this morning. I was thinking about all what we talk about it, Sam, and it was fun. And I was thinking about something who resume all things to encourage people to do peace building. I will quote myself: lose yourself in your dreams, and don't lose your dreams.
Wow, thank you so much for synthesizing your academic, your personal, your acting experience, and for clarifying the process, which is so important, so that we absolutely have the most effective use of our time, the artist's time, in their effort to encourage peaceful engagement. Words of wisdom, very well said. On behalf of the Art Association and our international community of artists for peace, thank you, Michel, for being part of this conversation and for the work that you do. Your journey from performance and theater through research and writing to cultural diplomacy and leadership shows how artistic practice critical reflection, and concrete cultural projects can work together in the service of peace. You demonstrate how theater can be a place where conflict is represented and transformed, one audience, one community at a time. To our viewers, please follow us and learn more about the Art Association's mission to encourage peaceful engagement through art. Michel, thank you again, and we wish you all the best in your ongoing work and the theatrical and cultural projects you've yet to create.
Thank you so much, Sam, and good luck for your initiative. It's amazing. So don't give up, go forward. Thank you.